Hellos, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 3 Large Fries and 1 Breaded Pogo Wiener Stick. My name is Big Papa Sprite, and these are some of my friends.
I guess I'm Bobby.
I'm Emilio.
I'm the big Schmeat Nick.
And I don't know what's going on, but I'm Amanda.
Perfect.
I love it.
love
that was funny.
He's been working on that for like 3 weeks, everybody.
I think you nailed it.
It's pretty good.
Every day in the shower. Every day in the shower. I'm
every
like
morning.
Big Papa Sprite.
Is it from something, or it come to you in an epiphany?
Yeah, it came to me in an epiphany.
Nice.
A message from God, right?
Nice.
Right?
Shower thought.
Well,
Love it.
I'm sure we'll have disciples after that, man. That was crazy. That was powerful. Yeah.
That made me want to get a pogo stick. What was that, a pogo?
I can just imagine Sniper in the shower, like, okay, Christian, today's the day. They're gonna let you do it. Remember, we've been practicing this all month.
You're a stand-up guy, and people love you. We're gonna do it.
They can't be mean to you. You're Canadian.
talk
The
about
Deckles thing
wieners.
was a fluke.
He has the whole thing scrolled on his wall. Riyadh moved out because he's obsessed about it. All right. So this is a video game podcast, in case you didn't know. Did you guys get to play some video games? I did.
I did.
I made my schedule start working for me, so I've been getting like 2 hours a day in, so that's pretty good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
What about you guys?
I played a lot of video games, yeah, and I kind of did another little like boomerang of playing a whole bunch of stuff. We've got some repeats, you and I, Emilio, so that's nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Excited to hear about some of these.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't play a whole lot this week, but I watched a lot of streams of Lego Star Wars.
Mm.
Yeah.
Was
nice.
this the week you were off, Bobby?
No.
Oh, it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Nick?
No, I had a major gaming accomplishment for the king, so pretty
Ooh.
good.
Nice.
For the king.
For the king.
All right,
Huzzah!
let's get right into it.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off with On the Radar. So games that have come to our attention. I'll start it off with Mechanic 8230, Escape from Ilgrot. So this is a point-and-click adventure taking place in a retro-futuristic, post-apocalyptic society. Feel like we've seen it all before. I do like the graphics on this one. I know I always say that, but this one's got, I don't even know how to describe it. I feel like everything's been like pixelated, retro, but this goes a different direction here. It almost looks like, I don't know, it's 3D animated, but almost like claymation in
Yeah,
a
it
way.
looks like claymation to me.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Robot chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robot Chicken. I like the looks of it. It is the first act of this point-and-click adventure game that takes place on this planet called Ilgrot, and I guess the next act is going to take place somewhere else. I'm always a little skeptical of the 2-act thing. This happened with Broken Age. They raised a bunch of money, made the first act, had to raise more money, then released the second act, and by the time that happened, I had lost interest. So still to this day, I've only played the first act of Broken Age, never the second one.
Wasn't it like 2 years later?
Yeah, it was like years in between. I don't know if it'll be that long with this one, but still, I don't know. The other point-and-click or adventure games, like the Telltale ones, they tend to do like episodic 5 episodes a season, and they're usually like months, maybe 5 months apart or something like that. So, but if you wait on it, you can play them all through in just one big go.
Which is my way of doing it for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people do that. Like the episodic thing, it doesn't really work for me in video games. I need it all right now, otherwise I'm never going to finish it. It's hard enough when I talked about the Deponia games not too long ago, where I played 1, 2, and 3 like back to back to back, and then the 4th one came out, played half of it, and
You're out of the pony, yeah.
I finally got back to it after like 5 years. But yeah. But this is looking interesting, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. I don't think there is I don't think there's a price on it yet or an exact release date. Maybe we could go back to the Steam page, take a look at that. No price. There is a demo, however, and the release date is coming soon.
Yeah, it looks cute.
Yeah.
Amanda, what you got?
Looks cool. So one of the things on the radar for me is called Nine Souls. It is a platformer There is a demo out right now. I definitely recommend everyone to go do the demo because it is cool. Like, and I mean, I love the play of the 9 souls, 9 lives. There's definitely like a cat mechanic on here, but it's very like you're in this world where these people like worship the gods that have the 9 lives, and they are very centered around like the kind of number 9 and 10 for worlds and realms and things like that. And I like the mechanics in the game a lot. Like, it's definitely very fun. You can run up and scale walls and do different kind of combos with your move that you see in a lot of other platformers. But I do like the story, and this story has a weird way of being like very Spirited Away in a sense, like, is what it kind of reminds me of. And then that same vein of like being visually beautiful with such a macabre shit in it too, kind of like how Spirited Away can get. But like this is a super fascinating game, and so far I'm really enjoying the story, and I'm excited for this one to come out. It's supposed to be released, I think, in 2023 though, so that's going to be a while. But it is cool, and the demo definitely is nice, and so far it seems like the story is going to be pretty unique and cool.
If you make an action platformer, you got to bring some shit because like there are so
Yeah.
many.
So many.
There's so many. So it's either got to be like gorgeous, like
But I mean, look at that.
yeah,
I think
no, it
that's
looks great.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
Very
That's what
pretty.
I'm saying. Like I'm intrigued for sure. And as soon as I was looking, I was like, ooh, there's a Steam Deck game. That's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah,
would
that
be a
looks like a
great
straight-
Steam
that's-
Deck
that's-
game.
That's a perfect statement for that. That is a Steam Deck game if I've ever seen one.
Yep. So Q2 2023 is when this one's going to come out. But yeah, you can definitely check out the demo and see if you're going to like it yourself. I'm certainly intrigued. I think while we've seen so many action platformers, this one though will be a pretty solid one and a good one. There's a lot of awesome mechanics. The storyline is really fascinating, and it has quite a few moments where I was just like, "Oh shit!" And I like that. I like when you have moments like that in a game, you know, especially a game that's kind of overmade at times, right? Because there's, like we were saying, there's so many action platformers, but this one's cool.
Yeah, definitely. What is it? Steam Deck game, and I thought was Himno the Silent Melody. I thought I was getting an action platformer with some light crafting in it, but more it's kind of a Terraria clone, and Terraria is kind of like one of Steam's sweethearts. Like, it's always at the top of the charts. It's always one of the highest rated things of all time. And I must have tried to play that game 5 times now, and it's just not for me. I can't get into it. And then so I get into playing this, and it's Terraria with maybe definitely more action. They try to put Terraria and an action platformer together, but the control scheme was very awkward for me. I didn't like it, and it was even worse on the deck. So I played it on the deck first, and I was like, oh, obviously this is for desktop. So I played it on desktop, and I was like, oh, geez, this isn't any more comfortable than it was on the deck. So I returned it. I wasn't too into it. But if you're a Terraria fan and you want something with a little more action, then this is probably right up your alley. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just too Terraria for Emilio.
Yeah, it looks really close to Terraria, actually.
That's Himno, the Silent Melody. Days, you had what?
I had 9 souls.
9 souls, but not souls, SOLS.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Nick.
So I've already talked about Darktide before, but Darktide, the developers of Darktide, Fat Shark, do not say shit for anything ever. And for the first time in a long ass time, they actually did say something, and they announced their release date. And they're infamously known for not like saying like what CD Projekt Red does or what Bethesda does, where they're like, "Oh, this game's coming out in 5 years." So they officially announced their release date of September 13th, which is in less than 6 months, which is pretty awesome. They're alluding to a 5th class due to Vermintide having 5 classes. It would be kind of off brand to only have 4 classes. So A lot of people think that the 5th class is either going to be a dwarf or a like a mechanical person. So we'll see. But yeah, so you can wishlist the game now on Steam, and just be alerted to any kind of news or anything like that, or when you can pre-purchase it. I think it's gonna be $40, like Vermintide was when it first came out. So yeah, keep an eye out.
Yeah, this is same guys, right? Fact Sharp made.
Same guys.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, dude. I feel like guns. Is it? It's not melee, right? Or
No, it's
well,
melee and guns. So for
yeah.
example, one of the characters, she's a zealot. She is like a super religious lady, and her main weapon is like a hammer, like an electrical hammer.
I kind of just feel like
Is
it.
she part of the same realm of the Battle Sisters?
Kind of, yeah. Actually, she's like an acolyte. She's like a beginning one.
Nuns with buns and buns.
Buns and guns.
Buns and guns. Yes. And buns. All the buns.
All the buns.
All the buns.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, so definitely check this out. Like I said, one of the cool things about this game is that the main writer for this game is Dan Abnett, who wrote the first book of the Warhammer series, who's highly regarded as one of the best sci-fi writers of all time. So it's about to have a super good story, and Fat Shark doesn't disappoint. So
Yeah,
look into it.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. The fantasy, like I just based on the sci-fi versus the fantasy version, I definitely gravitate towards the sci-fi side of it. Like I want to shoot things in a shooter, not kind of swing things at a thing. I never got to play the Gatling gun that Bobby was playing though.
Oh, the dwarf.
Yeah, the dwarf. Yeah, what's next? Oh, Days.
Yeah. So I have Before Your Eyes is what the game is called, and it is already out. However, it's on my radar, and I do plan on playing it more, hopefully this week. It is a narrative game. It's just you're kind of going through the whole story. So what it is that you are a soul that has been, you are a soul that's been picked up, and you're supposed to explain and show your life, and you'll be passed for judgment. And so if you pass judgment, then they will bring you into like this paradise realm. And so you are kind of reliving different memories. And this game, the only thing that you do is like you kind of point your mouse to where they show that eye, and then you literally blink. And when you blink, that changes the chapter. And if you blink on like a metronome, then that will change the time. So you don't know whether you're going to be jumped forward like 5 seconds, 5 days, 5 months, 5 years. And so you play this whole game with your eyes, and you're just, their whole purpose is to kind of relive what you saw behind your eyes for your life.
Is this VR?
No, it would be so good in
Yeah.
VR. It would be so great in VR, but it's not. It's I think up there to win like a BAFTA award, which they have like the British awards going on right now for a lot of video games. Unpacked is like up there to win. Apex too. Like it's interesting. Check it out. But yeah, they do have a big sale right now. I think this game is what normally like $9 or something. It's $3 I think right now is this game. And it just seems like such a cool concept to me.
Yeah.
I've never seen a game that you play with your eyes and just blinking, and it's just kind of you're moving through it. But it's supposedly it's overwhelmingly positive with the reviews. Apparently everybody says that it is like Spiritfarer, which makes me very excited. That is absolutely one of my favorite indie games, especially on the Nintendo Switch. So like I'm looking forward to checking this out and seeing it more. But yeah, you play this game with your eyes. It's
You've
fun.
been doing a great job of picking up really unique games. Good job
I've
on
always
that.
loved unique games, man. I love them.
Yeah.
They're weird. It's great.
And now they're getting that
They're
DL
weird,
gaming
they're
bump.
great.
Yeah.
I don't even know. They're like, what do we do with all this money? Like, I guess some podcast mentioned us.
Yeah, $3 off of this game. Big old whopping thing. But I did play this, I think, for about 30 minutes, and then I got distracted talking to people in the Discord. But this, I mean, I'm very intrigued with this game so far, just because, yeah, that mechanic is really neat. But if you want to get distracted in the Discord, you know, you can definitely join in the community, come into the fold. You should. You definitely should come join us. That's where all the fun and the magic happens. And you can find our Discord on dlgaming.net.
Look at this. She's perfect.
Speaking of Magic, by the way, I want to mention that the newest set of Magic the Gathering is actually available for pre-order on Magic the Gathering Arena. You can go ahead and pay $49.99, get 5 draft tokens and the pre-release token and the mastery set, which is like $100 value, all for just $49.99. So,
Or you could
check it
do,
out.
or you could do the other thing, the 50 packs, which is what I usually do because I don't
Are
have
you guys
time for
getting-
drafting.
You guys getting paid for this? What's going
Yeah,
on?
you guys
here?
getting kickbacks? What the fuck?
going on?
You even for a low price of $44.99. Order your magic today.
Oh my god. Hey,
Dude, I don't
plug.
know if I'm gonna buy in on this one, man. But that's what I said about Kamigawa. So like, I gotta
So
pull
a lot of
away.
people think that this set is going to be like in real life, like in like paper magic, that this is going to be a money set because it's a tricolor set,
Yeah.
and all tricolor sets are known for like making money.
This is the one that I told you, Bobby, is like, it's like in a big city and it's like mobsters. That's what they were going for in this one.
Okay.
So there's 5 families. Each family is made of 3 colors. All I know for sure is one of the families is vampires, and that's all I know. Which is crazy because I feel like vampires are going to get super strong again. Because I mean, there's so many vampires right now from the other 2 sets
They always do.
that are
Yeah.
alive.
Innistrad doesn't come to play, dude. It comes
Yeah.
to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Innistrad Crimson Vow, their box value is the lowest that of any other box at $69, which is like unheard of.
Damn.
It is like, and yeah, that is super cheap.
But yeah, I'm using a vampire deck right now, and I made it to diamond rank for the first time in like 2 months. I did it a couple of nights ago, so I was pretty stoked on that. All right, cool. Enough about Magic the Gathering. Although I am gonna write a poem for it. I'm inspired by Chris, so I'm gonna do my own shit next week.
Ooh.
A poem on Magic
I
the
like
Gathering.
that. All right. Magic the Gathering poem. I love it.
Oh wow.
I literally just made that up. I might do it though. All right, cool. Time for highlights. These are games that we did play, and it's not always a good thing. Sometimes we play shitty fucking games. But this week was pretty good for me. What about you guys?
This week was great for me.
Yeah, nice.
Kind of interesting as far as the 2 things that happened. Kind of get duped, but we'll talk about that.
All right, I got the most, so I guess I'll start. I said I was going to play Weird West, and I did. It's free on Game Pass. It's a cross genre. It's tricky, man, because you're playing basically a twin stick shooter in a kind of a top down or isometric view, but it's like an RPG. It's a lot like Fallout. It's like a Fallout 3, Fallout 4, but from a different perspective. Because there's items everywhere. You get them. There's a little bit of crafting. There's quests. There's all this stuff, which all this stuff I've seen before. But usually I hit the nail on the head last week where that kind of gameplay isn't usually also action. But this is an action game. So yeah, there's no. All right, so you start off as the gunslinger, right? And the world is like Weird West. So think Dark Tower, which is one of my favorite series ever. Anyway, so you shoot things with your guns, obviously, but it's a mouse. So you have a straight line that you move left to right, and to try to line up your shot. But then also you have along that line you have a aiming cursor. So you have a Y and an X axis, and if you get the guy right on the right spot, that's a critical. But it's kind of hard to do because they're running at you from different angles, jumping over things and stuff, and you're kind of you don't want them to get you, and then you have to do it really quickly to get the critical. But it's great, it's fun. None of it is like turn based or anything like that. You can slow down time when you're selecting your guns, but you can't really see the screen. Like the menu takes up most of the screen. I think that was on purpose, so you can't like cheese it. And then you also have a dodge roll mechanic that gets you out of area denial. Like somebody will throw a grenade, so it'll show you where it's going to explode. Obviously, you guys know what an action game is. I'm just saying it's also like this RPG, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I think
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking great.
Yeah, I loved it. I played quite a bit of this as well, and yeah, I agree with you. Like the action is there. I like too that it's got these elements that bring me back to like Divinity Original Sin, especially
Mhm.
manipulating the environment. And there is a type of strategy that you can have with this. You could sneak around and use high grass the entire time to then stun and attack enemies from behind, which I love. So you don't even have to go in guns ablazing, and then when
Yeah.
you do, there's the whole like hitting your critical with the aiming and the line of sight and stuff, and that. Yeah, this game is really unique. I like it because it's like it's so many elements of things that we've seen, but it works really well mixed together in this place. And so far, the story is cool. I like that when you move from one place to another, you have these instances that can pop up that seem to be pretty random. It might be
Uh-huh.
like you run into
A
a
witch
broken down trailer or a witch or a traitor or
or
an event
coyotes.
or coyotes. Yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. You can bury bodies when you see them to hide them in case like people
Oh,
get alerted. And so like it's super fun. There's a lot of stealth elements, a lot of crafting in this, a lot of story and action, and it's a fascinating game. I'm enjoying this so far.
and you guys know me, like I'm always like big stick hit things, kill everybody, right? So I'm like, why am I gonna hide the bodies? I'm just gonna kill everybody. I don't care. So I killed the whole camp, and then I went downstairs, did the other mission. When I came up, their buddies had come back from whatever. Like it alerted me, hey, you left bodies everywhere, and they're looking for you now. So not only did I come up and there's bad guys again, but they're on high alert and they're looking for me, and they basically have the building surrounded. I fought my way out, but like I don't think I've ever seen that before, where you come back to an area where you fuck shit up, and you have to pay your consequences for it. The other thing I'm excited about, I haven't unlocked the second character. Have you?
No.
Um, I know that they're going to play completely different. This one's the gunslinger. The other ones, I think there's a werewolf, a pig man, some sort of magic lady, and that's all I know for sure. But yeah, each one of them is going to have a different kind of play mechanic completely than the shooter. So yeah, man, I'm stoked on this game. It has some issues like um, uh, there's just too much stuff to pick up. That was the same thing in Fallout.
Yeah.
Like you could be picking up scissors and fucking and spools of yarn forever, and you don't have to. But being a completionist, you're like you don't want to miss something. There could be something somewhere, So I don't know. Some games just have too much stuff, but that's not a very big complaint. Everything else I like, and the video. I feel like the video that I watch on this game doesn't do it justice. I feel like it looks better when you play it.
I agree.
Yeah.
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 It just feels better. I think the way that they did the world building in that was done really, really well as well. Like I mean, we've seen a lot of westerns and things like that, but they do encapsulate a really good environment that just really kind of sucks you in. And I liked the music too with it. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
It was very weird, wild westy kind
Really
of
is.
music. Yeah, so that was awesome.
Yeah. What do you guys think from the outside? Not playing it.
I think it looks really interesting. I like the graphics. I like the top-down stuff. The mechanics seem kind of interesting. I just don't think it's the game for me. I think it can have a long life as long as they keep updating it.
Yeah. Bobby, you gonna try it out?
Probably not. Maybe. Probably not though.
All right. Who's next? That was Weird West.
I'll talk about what I experienced. So I quote unquote beat Gran Turismo. So like unexpectedly. So in Gran Turismo, there's a new mechanic called the cafe, and the cafe is the how do I say this? The story mode equivalent of any other game. And what it is they go, you get this mission, you have to race in these type of events with this type of car for these three types of races. If you get in these positions in the race, you get this free car, and you have to and you complete the missions, right? And there's 39 missions. What ends up happening is they don't tell you that there's 39. After about 3 or 4 missions, you're handed a championship, which is like a set of races that you have to complete one by one by one. And you can't change your car at any point. You just have to keep going and just endure what you're like the whole race. Like I mean the whole championship. You can't like change your car parts. You can't do anything else. The only thing you really can change is your tires, and you can change some of your tuning. But what ended up happening is I'm on the 39th mission, and they're like, "This is it. This is one of the hardest one of the hardest tournaments there is. You'll be racing with GR3 cars, which are like not super insane cars to say the least. They're just like race cars. Like one of the cars is a WRX that's been super souped up. Not that
Why is it
extravagant.
so hard?
It's not very hard.
Huh.
It's just 5 races back to back to back to back to back. But it's like I said, it's not that hard. It's just the final 5 races back to back, and then the game's like, that's all the missions. Have fun. You can just play freely now.
Huh.
There's nothing else.
It was
Like you can do like time trials, and you can do other shit, but there's nothing else for you to really do in the game that gets you large sums of money. And now I can see why the user score on Metacritic is a 1.9.
wow.
Because everyone is complaining that when you play the game, what ends up happening is that when you're doing the missions, you're getting a lot of money. You're getting like $50,000, $100,000 when you're playing. However, when all the missions are done, there's no more large influx of money coming in, and you can't just afford buying new cars all the time.
You have to grind for small amounts of money for individual races.
Exactly. And you have to race the old races that you've already done that already have limitations.
Is this a way of them like promoting their own mini transactions, like microtransactions?
Exactly.
Yeah, these fucking pricks.
And so the other thing is, there's some other things that are in this, and you're like, why is this even in the game if it's not a mission? So for example, there's fucking go-karts. Like there's like little like like those Umigo go-karts that can go like 60 miles an hour. They're in the game, and there's no mission for them. There's F1 cars. There's concept cars that have 999 performance parts. There's like experimental cars that there's no missions for. There's like all these things that exist in the game that there's obviously content that can be put in for them. They just don't exist. It just doesn't exist. And so like, what's the point of having all this stuff if you can't do anything with it? And it honestly, it's there just to look pretty. And like for anybody, I guess, that has time to kill or doesn't have any other games, they really can just play the game and unlock more money to unlock cars. But that's really about it. All the other Gran Turismos, when you played them, there was like 800 races. Like it was like, this is the American GT race. Okay, like you had a race with these cars, and like every time you beat it, the cars would get harder and harder and harder and harder. And it's not like that anymore. Like it's just, there's this version of this race, and then there's this version of the race. That's it. And it's kind of disappointing to see. Now it's just like, you want to play Gran Turismo? Sure, let's just race each other, and that's it. That's after you beat the game, that's all you can do. Like you can just play couch co-op with your friends, and that's all really Gran Turismo is now.
Bumming me out.
Like
Dang.
yeah, like before, like Gran Turismo was like, you had like the 24-hour Le Mans, the 12-hour Le Mans, like the 6, like all these other things that you could do. And now it's not there.
So when are you going to try Forza 5, our game of the year? DLG's game of the year.
I mean, now I'm going to try it and like
There you go.
compare it.
There
So,
you go.
like I said, I had to beat, or not beat, but I had to like fully try Gran Turismo to fucking see what's up. I can see why the professional Metacritic score is there and why it's 87. It took me 60 something hours
To get to this point.
And 60 hours for $70.
It's pretty good.
Perfectly fine for 87. But I mean, for it's an 87 in my book. It's an 87.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about longevity and shystiness, 1.9.
It's
Definitely.
a womp womp.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
All right.
Hashtag womp womp.
We won't be buying Gran Turismo on our PlayStation, on our PCs. No. Thanks.
Yeah.
No. All right. Well, something that definitely is a much more fun user friendly game. If you've got VR at least, I'm gonna go with Cybrid first because that is technically the one I played the least out of those other ones that I have on here. So Cybrid I had gotten for my birthday, and which thank you. But this I'm really excited for this game. Ultimately, if I've been talking to you, I'm like interested in looking into a new PC to handle my VR better because I just think that it's chugging for a minute. I've tried a few optimization things and it's still not where I would want it to be. I think it's hardware. I'm trying to run VR off of a laptop. I mean, I know what I'm getting into. So, but this is one of the games why I would definitely want a better computer because this game takes so many elements from Pistol Whip, which I love, and they combine it in a way with Beat Saber. So like as these guys are running up to you, you are moving your sword in the direction that it's showing you, which I love that they are using a sword that brings me back to Halo. Because that's what it looks like, at least on the enemy. That's what it kind of looks like to me. But yeah, so you slice these guys as they run up to you in the direction that it shows you, and then you can hit one of the secondary trigger buttons to switch to guns, and you can do dual guns if you want, and then shoot people as you're running through, and you're avoiding obstacles and turrets and things like that. This game is super fun. I think it was, I don't know if it's $10 or something. It might be. So it's $14 right now, but it's just fun. Like I said, it really combines Pistol Whip and Beat Saber together, which is two of my favorite like cardio kind of base games on VR. So far, I recommend it. It's cool. It's set in like a cyberpunk setting. When you're loading in, you're like in this in your bedroom in this like cyberpunk style world and stuff, and it's just cool. And I've noticed too that with each chapter and each level that you play, you actually come back to the same room in a different spot. You might be sitting in front of your computer, or you might be laying in your bed, or like you might be looking out the window when you come back. And it's just, I don't know, these little things and little details I appreciate. And this game is fun. It's definitely fun, and I love the music too. The music's very like the industrial techno, the hard kind of dubsteppy techno, the kind of stuff that's in Pistol Whip. And so it's very cool.
Is it up to you to switch from gun to sword?
Yes.
And so
it's easy.
There's no prompts to be like, this guy you shoot instead of slice?
No prompts. And you don't actually technically need to do it. You can use your sword to deflect bullets and you'll get points from that.
Oh,
So
nice.
you don't really need to switch to a gun, but it is fun, and
Yeah.
it's actually like incredibly fluid too. Like it's easy to switch back and forth, and it's fast, and like it works.
Nice.
And yeah, the game is very cool.
It does look cool. A little more like Beat Saber. Obviously, the comparison's going to be there, but this is just more. I don't know. I guess you're cutting things up instead of just slicing boxes.
And there's really cool moments too where you get to like the edge of it. Like there was this one moment where I jumped and did a backflip and then switched to my guns in slow-mo and shot two dudes upside down as I floated down. It was epic. It's super cool. And so yeah, I enjoy this game. I'm really looking forward to having a computer with better hardware that can run this full speed.
I can imagine your
and
cat's
perfect.
like, I hope mom doesn't punch me again.
I know. I feel so bad, man. I gotta be careful.
And that is Cybrid, like hybrid, but with the C.
Yes.
Yup. So I got my Steam Deck, guys. It's cool.
Woo!
Yeah.
Aren't you the fucking cool kid on the playground?
This never happens to me. Where like I got mine first out of everybody. Nobody on the Discord got theirs. I was the first one. So yeah, I got the $400 one. Um, and so it was buggy at first. Just like menu options things, and then I did a few patches, and that all kind of went away. I tried to play a game in every genre. You know, I played a card game, I played a first-person shooter, I play, all the genres, and I can't fault it for me being so bad at first-person shooters in on a controller. I've never played a first-person shooter on a controller in my life, so I can't fault it for that. But I was good enough to play Risk of Rain. I played Risk of Rain probably more than anything else on the deck. I played for 3 hours straight, and that's when I was just telling myself, I'm going to play it for an hour so I can like do a review for it. But no, it was so fun that I just kept playing. It's pretty close to a perfect game for that. Obviously, it's not as good as being at your PC, obviously, but this is a very good substitute for sure. The Inscription, when I downloaded it, it was like, hey, like the standard layout isn't going to work. You're going to have to use the trackpad and mouse. And I was like, oh, okay, at least it tells you, which is cool. And then I used the trackpad and mouse, and it was great. Like I feel like I have as much control with my thumb that I do with a mouse on just the desktop thing. So also, there's a way to trick it into you being able to play your streaming your Game Pass games onto it. But it's kind of involved, and it's really just tricking it to do it. So it's not streamlined at all, and it was kind of cumbersome to get it done. And at the end of the day, it's funny. I took an hour and a half to get this done. Finally, when I was done, it was like, hey, well, it's not really a good experience and stuff like that. And I was like, the fuck, put it at the top of the goddamn your tutorial. Don't put it at the bottom. Shit. Anyway, so I just deleted it and finished everything that I did. I couldn't get it to work anyway. What else did I play? Obviously, Binding of Isaac ran great. I mean, Sam was on it for like 4 hours. Mila's been trying to play Fall Guys. Not compatible for some reason. Doesn't it seem
Really?
like the perfect game?
Yeah, it seems like such a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
one.
So the first person that I contacted through Steam, by the way, the menus and the steamness of the Steam Deck might be better than the UI on your PC.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's like a master search bar at the top, and it doesn't just search your library and the store and your friends list. It does it all. So if I put in, Sniper, it'll show like under friends there any games that are spelled like that or what. You get everything, and it's not cumbersome at all. So when I was looking for a game that I had played, that I wanted to play, it came up at the top, and then it put in all the games at the store that starts with that name, and but it started with the DLCs for that game, and it was just nice. It's all laid out in our Steam on the PC. You have to go to different tabs for all of this, and since it's just it's not really a tab situation here. They kind of just put it all on 1 or 2 pages, and it works great. I think the steaminess is pretty good on this, and you would think so on the Steam Deck, right?
Well, you would hope so. Yeah.
As you came in, Days, I was playing their kind of like demo that shows you all the functionality. It's called Workstation or Workday, something like that. I forget. Sorry. But you're working at Aperture, you're working for Cave Johnson and that whole thing. And, the comedy there is all good. And it shows you a lot of like little, shortcuts that you'll need to like how you bring up the keyboard and how you can write on the screen and all this stuff like that. But it's also fun. It's fun and entertaining. It's education when it's fun. What it's called, Bobby? School.
Funnication?
I forget.
I don't know.
Anyway, it is. It's fun and it's educational, kids. I had a good time with it. I didn't finish it though because it was podcast time. But I wish I would have started with that. So if you get one, start with that. It's not like like I knew 90% of it, but it was a fun experience either way. You end up making a turret toilet, and they're trying to mass market that over at Aperture. So it's good times. Let's see what else. I was telling these guys that the plastic of it. I don't know if I'm being like overly critical, but it feels like cheap plastic. The housing, all the controls feel great. The trigger buttons feel great. There's 4 buttons underneath where these. I haven't seen these buttons on any controller. You can map those outside of the game and have them basically run a script, so you can kind of like map things to happen. And you could also, after you write whatever it is, you can have it automatically apply to like all RTS games. So like this button will always bring me back to my main base when I play an RTS game, stuff like that. So yeah, you can map these extra 4 buttons, which is nice because when you're playing PC games on something like this, there's always those like weird little moves like hitting escape. You can't really hit escape on this, right? So you might put something in there that exits the button or exits the game for you. You know what I mean? So yeah, you could do that. Let's see what else. Some of the buttons, some of the auxiliary buttons, they don't feel that great. They feel weird. I thought the trackpad feels weird, but it works great. So who cares? Overall, I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. I'm really happy with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
When did you like get the confirmation? Like, when did you put in your order for this? Because I can see that even when we pulled it up, like right now, you'd have to get in for a reservation to then maybe get it in October at the end of this year. So I'm just kind of wondering, what was the difference between like your confirmation versus like when it was actually shipped to you?
Oh, not much at all.
No. Oh,
Wait. Confirmation of shipping or confirmation of purchase?
Confirmation of purchase.
Oh, that was like the day they came out. The day they
nice.
announced it. Yeah.
And then it shipped it right away. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but other people like I'm pretty sure John beat me to it, and he hasn't even got his email of like.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
For it, yeah. Like, because how long did that take when you first tried to reserve it versus once you got confirmed?
Yeah, I don't remember. I all I remember is like I bought it. You get the confirmation email that you bought it, and the next email I got was, "Hey, we're shipping it to you. Here's a tracking code."
Nice.
Which was like months later.
Yeah.
There could have been something in between, but I don't remember. Even the bottom model that I got, the $400 one, comes with a nice case, and the case has a place for the charger. Even though it's a small case, it's just like this little extra. It's on the outside, and you put it in the back, and I was like, "Whoa, this is like." It was a nice touch for sure, because I've definitely had things that don't have room for everything that you need for the thing. Especially at the bottom level, you don't expect much. It's a nice case. I was surprised.
Now, have you hooked it up to a TV yet, or do you need a different attachment to do that?
So apparently that's coming out later. There's going to be a
Okay.
dock that does basically what the Switch does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was
Interesting.
looking
Okay.
through it when you brought it in here, and it's really nice that it shows you the button layout. Right when you load up a game, it says these are the buttons you're going to use. So that's really nice because there's a lot of controls on this device. What's the most intense, like graphically intense game that you played on it?
So I loaded Dying Light 2, which what's good about it too is as you're going into games, it's not just telling you the button layout, but it's also telling you optimization. Like, hey, because a lot of games have been checked off as great for deck, and that's another tab that you have when you're searching for games. So there's like your library, there's your library that's great on Steam Deck, and then there's like the store or whatever. But Dying Light 2 has not been optimized and was not checked off. So I loaded that up, and I would say it's playable, but you're not going to be getting 60 frames or anything like that. Like, don't expect that. It was kind of sluggish. It was tricky because in my playthrough on Dying Light, I was like in a super dark manner, and I was trying to I'm like, I just want to be on the street to see how I can play the parkour, but I couldn't get out of the fucking thing because it was just a situational thing. It was bad. So yeah, I think death loop is like something they said is great, so I'm going to throw that on there. Elden Ring is great on deck. It says. I don't know how that's going to
That'd
go.
be that. So Elden Ring is actually not that graphically intensive.
Huh. So this might be a great
try it
place for
out.
me to play it. Yeah. So yeah, overall 9 out of 10. Battery life, I'm getting like 4 or 5 hours out of it. Obviously without plugging it in. You get a long cable. When does that happen anymore? Yeah, and so you have Steam, blah blah blah, all this stuff, and then you have this other tab that says non-Steam stuff.
Mhm.
So in there, I put like Chrome, and then apps are going to be coming out.
Yeah, like Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah, I mean,
imagine.
people can. It's open source, right? All their stuff is open source, so people are just going to be writing all kinds of shit for these things. So there's going to be an app for everything. So can't wait for that. And also, there's a button you could push to go into window mode, and you just have a Windows PC in front of you, and you could just bring up your keyboard anytime. Typing on the screen it's weird because it's like, how do I hold it? So I ended up using the joystick and the button to type, and it's really fast and really intuitive, and I didn't have any problems with it.
Is it touchscreen?
It is touchscreen.
Okay.
You could set it down and like type.
Touch type.
Yeah, touch type, but I found the
Seems kinda small
joystick
for
really
that.
good. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, no buyer's remorse at all.
Nice.
All right.
I was saying to these guys that like I would have paid another $100 to have like a really firm Pro controller feel to it, because if you buy the $600 one, you're still getting the same housing,
Mhm.
just getting a different screen.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it holds up. That's going to be the real test. It could
Yeah.
feel cheap, but
And last forever. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something else that felt a little cheap, and I don't know, so far lasting a little bit forever. I played Treasures of Nadia, finally.
Hey.
Cracked all these jokes about the
Hey.
tales of Nadia and all of that. I was gifted this for my birthday as well. This game is ridiculous, like a train wreck, and I can't stop playing or looking away. I can't. Like, I keep being like, I'm not gonna play anymore of this, and then I like want to load it up because I'm like, oh, I can get all these like talismans and dig up all this stuff and build my house and what's going on with Naomi and these stories and like, oh man, dude, and Claire and shit like.
She knows them all by
I love
name,
how you
folks.
know her name. You're like, and Claire.
And that's Emily. Yeah. So each of the characters are kind of interesting to me for like a technically kind of like a porn game. Like this has got more to it than I was expecting. I've never played a game like this, full disclosure though, so maybe it's the like first time kind of thing that's exciting, but I don't know. Like it's like I said, I can't stop playing this game. I put like over 5 hours into it. And there's a whole thing of the ancient temple where you can solve these puzzles. And I love that. The puzzles are really fun. They're really exciting. I can see, like, I see myself getting more sucked into, like, the game aspects of this game than all of the, like, ooh, titties, like, and so. But this game is fun. I don't know.
I don't think that. I definitely think this is an outlier. I think most port games are fucking garbage. I'm guessing, and this just happens to be something that has some good mechanics, and I guess the story's okay.
So far, I think the story's a little ridiculous. You're like a 23-year-old guy who looks like he's 19 coming back from college to be on an island, and every girl is super hot and wants to fuck him. So, like, yeah, okay, great. But, like, at the same time, I do like the treasure hunting story part that they have of it. Like, he's trying to relive in his father's footsteps and decide he doesn't want to go back to school because he wants to find this treasure. And he's kind of competing with, like, the redhead that's on the whatever title. Claire is her name. And, like, they're both trying to find, like, all this treasure in the island.
Of course,
and
you fuck her too.
I don't know. No,
Oh.
so far, no. 6 hours in,
I
you
don't
haven't.
know.
She might be the final boss.
She's probably the final boss.
She's
yeah.
The final
Yeah,
suck.
because you do a lot of creeping. Like you watch her like wash her clothes, and like you first walk into a cave and she's just naked swimming, and like I don't know, it's interesting. It's like some of the characters though are kind of fascinating. At least their stories. Some of them are kind of lazy, but some of them are good. I'm shocked. Like I said,
Sniper, did you continue to play it as well, or did you give up after that first week?
I'll come back to it when the moment is right, you know? I also think the game parts are more interesting than the porn parts.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's lots of games to play. I'm
Are
not
the
really
porn
sold on
parts
the-
interesting at all?
Not really, dude. Sometimes they're like super awkward.
She begs to differ.
You know, I think I would put it at about 85% of them are trash.
okay.
But there are some where I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Good to hear.
I just, I guess in a way, a semi-spoiler, everything to do with the doctor is the doctor and the masseuse on this island. I have massive problems with. Like, I'm not a fan. The doctor is ridiculous. She's like, oh my God, you've got a disease where your dick is too big. Like, fuck out of here, dude. like, no. And like the
You're
whole
like, it's
scene
not.
that they
Stop it.
the scene that they go into, their little like porn scene, it's fucking weird. Like, I'm just like, skip this. I don't want to see this. Just give me my medication and let me move on, Jessica. All right, like, I'm done. I have fishing to do. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. The first girl you pick up, Days. I'm pretty sure it's the first girl you have to pick up. I think everyone picks up the same girl. That girl from the store, the shopkeeper.
No, that's Emily. The first girl I think you pick up is like Allie or Allison or something.
Oh, right.
The first
After you
girl
spy
meet
on
is-
her.
Yeah, you spy on her, and then you
Yeah.
like fool around with her mom, and then you fool around with her. It's ridiculous. Like
Jesus.
it's ridiculous. But
This
like I
is
said,
too much.
Dude.
like I said,
She-
it's like a train wreck that you can't stop watching because it's fun.
Days. She went over to my house, right? And I think I had a couch and a bed. And the dialogue, she's like, "Hey, you got a nice place." I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And then I didn't meet her before, and then she took off all her clothes, and it was just like, it was too fast.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You needed to
wildly
be seduced,
inaccurate.
Chris.
Yeah, I think Emily needed to put a little more work there. You know,
You didn't have to say yes. You probably
That's
had no
so-
choice, huh?
I don't know. It's
You
it's
didn't have to say yes.
it's something. But you know
It's
what? Though?
literally the only button on the screen.
I do. There are some elements in this game that are fun though, because there's like crafting and fishing and, like I said, puzzle solving. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm intrigued. I
have to
probably
play
will
this
end up
goddamn
playing
game.
this more. Yeah, I probably will end up playing this more. Like I said, I can't stay away. I was like sitting today and I was like, what do I want to play? Oh, I know I want to play Treasures. of
Is it in
Nadia, like-
VR?
No, I'm.
No.
You know what? I'm glad it's not. I don't want to
Oh.
open up that door. No,
Yeah.
that might be too much.
Pandora's VR porn box stays closed.
Yeah, for sure. But-
What's the meme? I think it's from I forgot what show it's from. He's like, I hope this doesn't awaken something in me.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness.
I
Speaking
can't
of
believe this story
awakening,
is 30 hours to beat.
I
Jesus.
can. There's a surprisingly good and large chunk of story in this game. That's why I think I keep getting drawn back because I'm just like, what happens? Who's Nadia? Like,
Where is this bitch?
like, yeah, I don't know. I'm fascinated. It's interesting. I do have something to bring up though that I almost missed, but thankfully somebody in Twitch kind of mentioned it and they put it on the radar for Discord because this is kind of wild that I definitely want to stop and bring this up. If you guys heard, I believe it's an April Fool's thing, but it is still crazy. They have this thing. Razer released a Razer Hypersense suit where you can enter the metaverse in like a full suit.
No, I don't know anything about this. Is
It
it made by
looks-
Meta?
It's made by Razer.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
And it's for the metaverse. But like I said, I think this is an April Fool's joke. But it's still like fascinating and kind of crazy. Yeah, like you suit up, dude. You're ready for the metaverse as Batman
This
Razer.
definitely looks like a
Yeah,
joke.
it's-
Yeah, for
gotta be.
That's
sure.
a fucking.
For sure. That's hilarious, dude. Like, could you imagine? Look at all
The-
those sensors.
This suit up montage with the Joel Schumacher Batman and Robin butt shot kind of gave it away.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Well, it's giving very like Black Panther vibes, you know?
That said, I would wear the
feel
fuck
every
out of that if
wipeout.
I got
Yeah.
full haptic controls, man.
Right?
I wouldn't care what I look like.
You see it moving around like it's the car. You feel every KO. Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
this is
I-
hilarious.
Look
This
at his
is really
red-
hilarious. Oh my god, he's so beat up. Oh yeah, this is hilarious. I love that Razor's doing this, dude.
They're taking a shot at Metaverse, and good for them, dude.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You died.
What if it's taking VR to the next level?
Yeah.
No, that looks
Cool.
fun.
Ooh, all right. I didn't play too much this week, like I said, but I did go back to Back for Blood.
Ooh. I saw you launch the game like 13 times.
Oh, yeah? Wonder why it showed up like that. Anyway, let me set the scene here. So I'm on our Discord. Check it out, dlgaming.net. And Morconius, friend of the show, is just giving stuff away. He's just putting keys for games out there for anybody to pick up.
Yeah, thank you, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you, Arco.
And nobody picked up Back for Blood because everyone's probably got it on Game Pass, right?
Yeah,
So I was
probably.
like, I don't have Game Pass. I'll take that. So I have Back for Blood on Steam now. I loaded it up, and guess what? None of my progress transferred over. Apparently, I just assumed that it would. I was told it would with Sea of Thieves, but I guess because that was the developer, different developer, like it's kind of up to them. So I guess the fault is with Turtle Rock or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I lost all my progress, and I had quite a bit of progress built up on the Game Pass version of this. That's okay, whatever. I thought I'd jump back in. I know they've had a bunch of updates, and they've got their huge DLC coming out April 12th, just right around the corner. I just missed it. Probably check that out this week, but that's going to have the new map and a bunch of other new stuff. But some of the other features I did enjoy. So they fixed the whole balancing issue. Like one of the big problems that I had with this game was it goes from way too easy to impossible. Like those are your difficulty levels. Like super easy, impossible, forget about it. Like those 3 levels.
Yeah.
They fixed that. Veteran feels just like Left 4 Dead 2 now. Like the
Nice.
normal difficulty on there. Like it's easy enough, but not impossible. It's like doable. And you know, keep in mind, I'm starting from ground zero here. I've got I'm using the starter deck, so I have like all the basic stuff. So it's probably a little more difficult for me than most people. But I think they nailed the difficulty balance. The other thing they got now is burner cards. So the whole cool thing about Back for Blood is you get these decks, like you unlock these cards through supply chains, and you can build a deck, and then throughout the game, you can pick those cards, and you don't always have to pick the same ones at the same time. So you can really change up your gameplay there, and it's a way for you to spec your character into like melee damage or rifle damage or whatever. But these new burner cards are just one-time use cards, which now that they do it, I'm like, that's such a great idea. Maybe they should have just done all burner cards from the beginning. Like, how cool would that be? Like, it creates like an economy in the game, I guess, like where you have to play the game and then earn these burner cards and like, oh, I got a really good one, so I'm going to use it on this run, and then it's gone.
That
But I
would
have to play more to build it back up.
That would turn it into more of a roguelike situation.
Yeah. Maybe it's
Yeah.
better that they didn't do that, but I do like the addition of it. So, I mean, the burner cards I got were like garbage because they're the really early ones. I imagine there's a lot better ones
When
out
you
there.
say one time, you mean for that game time or that one part of the level or the entire level or
Well, let me give you an example. So one of the burner cards I got was get an SMG with like a couple attachments or something. So you use it just like at the beginning of a level, you get to pick a card and you play it, and I guess you start that level with that gun, and you know you can keep it for however long you
okay.
want and then throw it away. I don't know what other burner cards are out there.
Yeah.
But
and this
yeah.
is on top of the regular deck card that you draw.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it takes up a slot. You know, when you're building your deck, you have to use up a slot with a burner card. But, you know, I imagine if some of them are very powerful, then it'd be worth it.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're improving on the game. I was playing this on Friday with, you know, the usual Friday crew. We were looking for something to play together. And I got to say, so much easier joining games now that I have this on Steam.
Oh yeah.
Like it was
Oh,
me,
I bet.
someone else with Steam, and then the third guy still had it on Game Pass. And of course, the third guy was like, "Wait, I don't see it on my friends list. Oh, it's a different friends list because I'm on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Okay, it says you're not online." Like we went through the whole thing
Yeah.
that I went through when I was on Game Pass, and then me and the 2 Steam guys are just like, "Click, we're there. Let's go." So yeah, get it together, Game Pass.
I totally forgot that you were playing. You stopped playing this because I always forget that you don't have Game Pass anymore. So
Yeah, you know, and I kind of War. I played enough of it too. I was kind of done with it, honestly.
For the time.
Yeah, and I was just.
But now's a good time to get back in. it seems like.
Yeah. Well, they got that April DLC, and you know what,
Just gonna
Christian? If
say,
you could
yeah,
look it
April
up and see if
12th.
that April DLC is free or not, because that I do not know.
Yeah, the
I just-
Tunnels of Terror.
Yeah, Tunnels of Terror. I just assumed that it would be free, but now that I say it, I do not know if there's a price tag on it. But yeah, that's April 12th. So by the time this podcast comes out, it'll be out, and I'll probably be playing it. Also, a Deep Rock Galactic event's happening. Their Easter one. They're sneaking in like a quick little thing right before their big update, their season 2, on April 28th. So probably be playing a little bit of that this week.
So it depends what edition you get. The Tunnels of Terror is included in the deluxe and ultimate editions, but not in the base game, and it's available on Game Pass. So
Okay. All right. Yeah, I
It's-
did not get the deluxe edition. That's okay. But yeah, that was pretty much it for me. And then I watched like 2 or 3 hours of Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga on a stream, debating like, do I really want to get this? Because every time I play a Lego game, I'm always like, oh, this is going to be so great. And then I play it, and I'm like, this is a kid's game. What is this? Can't play this.
This is for children, damn it.
Yeah, and it happens like every time. Like I'm always like, okay, this is going to be the Lego game for me. Let's do it. But there were some really cool things, like the whole combos, the hit combos
Yeah.
with the lightsabers. I thought that was cool. But Emilio, you played it. How was it?
Yeah, so I played it with Mila, and she fucking loves it. It's funny, you go up to these protocol droids, and to unlock them for that level, you need like a cheat code. And it was like old school shit, dude. You had to go to a website, and for the first one, we had to go to a website with to fill out a survey. I was like, how I was curious how she was feeling about the game. She's like 10. That part was 10, and so basically this game got 10s all the way down for her. She really enjoyed it. I thought it was good because where else can a 43-year-old man and a 9-year-old girl equally enjoy something together?
Well, that's kind of just Star
That's a good
Wars,
point.
though. Is it the game or is it Star Wars?
It's the game, I think, because the other Lego games are like that as well. But no, there is something to that because my friend's family right now is going through a Star Wars renaissance. Like they started playing, watching the movies, and now they're super fans. All of a sudden, the whole family, So yeah, it can bring the whole family together. But anyway, and I'm finding the puzzles to be challenging, and what this game doesn't tell you is that if there was a fault, it would be that you don't know which ones you need more excuse me. Oof. What you don't know which puzzles you need extra characters for ahead of time. So the big thing to get is kyber crystals, right? The blue blocks. And you get every time we get one, we high five. It's like it's a big deal, right? You can get like there might be 3 or 4 on a whole level, and you get them, and we're stoked that we can get them. But some you need another character to get, and you only can get that character on that level through free play. So you got to come back later after you've unlocked the other characters and do that. But that doesn't stop you for trying for like 4 minutes if you don't see the prompt. If you come from the wrong angle and you're like, so there's some of that. But it's all kind of okay because the entire time I cannot resist breaking shit. I can't. And this game is like, it gives you all these, you feel so good for just destroying the pots. And like, Mila's like, I'm waiting for you over here. And I'm like, I'm coming. And she's like, no, you're not. You're, I can see you. You're breaking stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah. I'm on my way, though.
Yeah, I always get stuck in that loop with Lego games where I'm just like smashing everything to bits and collecting all the coins because like the completionist in me is just like, it's like those old games where there's like crates or barrels that you can break. There's like, maybe there'll be something inside this one, and there never is. But yeah. And yeah, the puzzles look cool. It seemed like they were really encouraging multiple playthroughs. Like you would be going through a level and you'd see something and just like, oh, I don't have the like jump or the run speed or the like jump boost to get that right now. So I'll just have to come back later when I unlock it, or
Yeah.
like you said, the character.
Which is why you need kyber crystals. Kyber
Yeah.
crystals is how you unlock your.
Yeah, and I do like that they have a talent tree. I don't know if they've done that in other Lego games.
I don't know if they have, and I assume, I'm pretty sure it applies to all your characters, so it doesn't matter. They say over 200 playable characters.
Wow.
And I think there's like some reiterations, right? So right now I have the very first C3PO, the one where
No skin.
he has no skin and he's just like in two parts. And his ability right now is like he falls in two parts and his legs are independent of his body. It's really funny. And his head spins and stuff. He's a crack up. But overall, man, like, yeah.
What part did you start playing?
We started at Phantom Menace.
Okay.
You have two options. You can start at New Hope or Phantom Menace. And
I thought they let you start at the beginning of any of the trilogies. Like
you might be right.
trilogies.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
Yeah, it looked like that was the case. And yeah, that's the part that I watched too, the Phantom Menace. They had the pod race in there too.
Yeah. And here we go again. This is like a perfect Steam Deck game, right? But I'm not going to play without Mila now. Like, so I was like, okay, $50 or whatever. I got it for $41 on Green Man Gaming, which is pretty good price. I think that's more than enough. And I was like, what are we going to get? 15 hours out of this? 75 hours of gameplay. 75,
Jesus.
guys.
Jeez.
Well, ever since the Jurassic Park one in 2015, I feel like they've really started adding hours to the game by making it more of like an open world like map where you have to go back and do things and explore different areas, and it's not just like run through each level one after the other.
Yeah. So, Bobby, you don't have to continue to torture yourself between getting your most anticipated game of the year and paying money for it. Now you could just play it off of my account.
Well, have you tried playing this? Because they've got, what's that feature on Steam now where you can play things just like that would normally be couch co-op? You can play them online.
Oh, yeah.
Remote play.
Yeah, remote play.
Yeah, remote play.
Yeah.
I imagine remote play would work with this.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that would avoid the whole split screen thing. I've always hated that about the Lego games.
It worked really good. It was, but
Oh,
you know, I have the ultra wide, right? Which helps.
Okay.
And we're
yeah.
sitting really close. So it was like literally didn't even notice it. Yeah.
Okay.
So-
yeah, the ultra wide would help in that.
Yeah, for sure. So, highly recommend. Highly recommend. It's a Lego game. They're made out of Legos, guys. But man, do those Legos look good? Like they're all polished and they're pixel perfect. Like you don't see.
That's what I was noticing when I was watching the stream. I was like, they give you a lot of graphics options. Apparently, I saw that. Like it was quite a few things you could set in the graphics menu. But does it really make a difference? Like honestly, if you look back at like a Lego game that was released 10 years ago and this one, is there really going to be a difference? Because I don't know.
There is. It's like a lot of
It's
reflections
polished.
and stuff. And
Yeah,
like,
reflections,
little more
polish,
shiny.
RTX, stuff like that.
Well, what I noticed in some of the cutscenes where they get closer to the characters, it's not like polished and pristine. There's actually like some dirt or, when they make the plastic molds, you can see the little ridge sometimes. Like if you do models, you have to sand that off. Like they get the little imperfections in there that add quite a bit of detail to this.
Yeah. So you gonna play it next week now?
Yeah, I'll probably check it out. I got to at least check it
I
out.
wonder who you're gonna like. You should find somebody to play with. Remote play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd love to see how it is on remote play.
I'm conflicted. I'm not sure if I would want to get it on Steam or Switch.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a perfect Nintendo Switch game.
So I looked it up. I looked up both because we went down the same fucking rabbit hole. I believe the reviews, the Metacritic is a little lower on Nintendo, just because like
Did it port weird?
no.
Yeah, I was
Nothing
gonna say.
like
I
that.
thought, yeah.
But the Switch is not a powerhouse either, so there might be a little bit of chugging from here and there. That's all.
Oh.
It's just that PC has infinite power.
Well then, shit. Maybe I'll remote play with you, Bobby.
Okay.
Because I definitely want to get this.
But if
game,
you
I just
really
haven't
need a good
decided.
Switch game,
Yeah.
I mean, when I say like, what is it? It's like an 89 or something.
Yeah.
On
Well, if you get a
Switch, I think.
Steam Deck, then you don't need it on Switch.
Facts.
This is true.
Just gotta wait
Oh,
until
I sold
October.
mine. Yeah.
Your Switch, yeah.
Yeah, to get it, so you could do the same thing. I don't know.
No, I love my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. So for the king.
Yeah. So after many, many tries, me, Leslie, and our third player, we have finally beaten the fucking game.
Wow.
Nice.
Or not the game. The first campaign, the one that like released with the game and all this stuff.
That's how hard that is, dude.
Not nice.
So there's a lot of things that like you cannot beat it unless like you know a bunch of shit.
Yeah. And this
Like
game
for
doesn't tell you
example,
shit.
like one thing that like in the game is that the price of shit goes up the more you level up, the more things you buy, the more things you defeat, right? So later, like one thing is the main healing herb in the beginning of the game is like 7 gold. At the end of the game is 217 gold. And so it's like there's a big difference as far as like how things fucking work. And so yeah, I looked up a couple different strategies and things like that, like on what to do.
That's what I was gonna say.
And
if you pocket a bunch of that stuff early on, its value later on is gonna be crazy, right?
Exactly. And so that's what we did. So like we didn't do like, oh, like you have to play this class, you have to play this class, and you have to play this class. We didn't do anything like that. But what we did do is we did like our main goal was buy as many of the healing herbs as we possibly can throughout the game and try not to use them as much as possible. And it worked. At the end of the game, we had like 17 healing herbs and a character that could use party heal. And by the time we finished the game, like the final fight was like a joke.
Wow.
Nice.
And so it worked flawlessly. And we're in the second campaign now, which is actually the DLC campaign. We decided to do that one. And there's like a new thing, and it's disease. And disease can spread, and it does a bunch of stuff to you. It's not like poison, or poison can't spread, but it's really fucking cool. So, yeah, we're probably actually going to play tonight after the podcast.
Nice.
So that whole strategy you just laid out doesn't even seem like the devs were like, well, let's force them to buy shit early so they can save. That's just a way that somebody figured out how to beat the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And like the other thing is like one of the classes is so overpowered when it comes to that. Like, so for example, Leslie was playing the herbalist, and one of her like the herbalist's passive is called it's just herb gathering. That's what it is. And what she can do is just find healing herbs and all other kinds of herbs just randomly. And she can just find like the 217 gold herb whenever she wants. And like it's awesome. And it really does help at the end of the game. But it helps all throughout the game. But like I said, at the end of the game, we just walk through it. One thing I will say is that this game online, like on YouTube, has like no guides, has like no fucking help. Like I looked up like on YouTube, like ways to beat for the king, how to do the last fight, like all this other stuff. Nothing.
You should make one, dude. Like top 10 things you need to know going into.
And well, the thing is, like, I did find like 1 or 2, and they're all like 2 years old. When there's like no information about the new shit, I'm like, this doesn't cover anything about some of the new herbs, some of the new disease, and like all that other stuff. So I think I might actually, now that you mention it,
I was gonna say a deep dive with some Nick time, dude. There you
10
Oh,
10
geez.
weird tricks that the devs hate, and they can't stop you.
go.
Your mom doesn't tell you this while you play for the king. This is how you. The saddest part is we beat it on the easiest difficulty, though.
Oh, I'm just gonna erase that whole part. Let's edit that out, Christian. It doesn't count anymore.
He was there for the
But we were
story.
having trouble, like even beating it on the easiest difficulty before. So, yeah.
Days, you're playing some more Demeo.
I played a lot of fucking Demeo this week. This is the game I played the most this week, and it was super cool. In the beginning of the week, I played a lot of the VR side of this game, and then this weekend, on Saturday, I think I played like I want to say 5 or 6 hours straight of just the PC edition. So Demeo has like a dual thing. They have a VR version of this game, and they have a PC edition of this game. And so I do think that the PC edition is just kind of easier to maneuver around and play, and it's wonderful, but the VR is just cool. I bought the VR one, and it actually came with the PC edition, and so I have both. I can easily flip from one to the other. I will say it seems a little elusive the way that the developers released it on Steam. Some people that I was talking to, like they couldn't find the ability to have both. They had to buy one or the other, whereas I definitely
how'd you do
only
it by
paid for
accident?
one.
You did it by accident?
Well, I bought it earlier before they released the PC
Oh,
edition.
okay.
I bought the VR one, and then it just came with the PC edition.
Oh, I
But
see.
then, I mean, I bought 2 people this game, and I bought it as a bundle where it came with both. So I don't know if on Steam if they're still showing a bundle, because like there was definitely a bundle that you could buy where you got both the VR one and the PC edition and the soundtrack, and it was the same price.
Like, come on, guys, don't be
Yeah,
greedy.
right there, the Buy Demeo Together collection.
Yeah.
Right there. You get both of them. It is
Oh.
$30.
I bet you it got
And-
mixed up because it was a gift. I bet you somehow there was an error in sending both things.
No, well,
No?
no, I
Did it
bought
work?
bundles for friends.
And did
so
it work?
yeah, and it worked.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I'm looking at a bundle right now. I think just the person I was talking to was a little confused, but this game is I absolutely fucking love this game, both in VR and just the PC edition of it. This game is bringing me back to like playing D&D with your friends. I mean, when I was playing with Tag Loro, we were getting like he was getting really into like role playing his character, and it's like such a blast. Each way that you play, depending on the kind of character, whether you go with the archer or the bard or the paladin, like obviously you're going to be playing things a bit differently. You get cards over time while you're playing. There's a lot of strategy in this game too, which I really love, because you can use the environment to help. Like you can destroy a gas lamp that will cause toxic gas that will do 1 damage to especially the lesser beasts. So you don't even have to focus on them. It's like a wonderful CC for them, and they'll just die in like a turn or two. As a bard, you've got to be really weary and pay attention to like who you're buffing, and kind of have a rotation for who you're going to buff, because those buffs are incredibly important, because they allow your party members to do 1 more damage and take 1 less damage. So like they don't even get affected by those gas lamps and those other various things. And like the weaker enemies like rats and spiders won't even really do damage to them, because they're doing maybe 1 damage, but you're buffed, so you're good. So the bard is definitely, I think, one of the most important characters you could have, because yeah, it's the full support, but it is a little difficult, or just a different play style. Like you could view it as boring or not, like, because it is less action. You got to be in the back, and you gotta, like, I had a rotation down where I was like, okay, I buff this person, then this person, then that person, and that rotation based on turns. So that's 3 turns that I'm using up 1 action when I only get 2. So it's like things to keep in mind with that. But this
You're
game
playing
is
a strategy
fun,
game as the
dude.
bard.
It's
Like
what?
it's strategy.
It's
Yeah.
it's a
Which is
lot
fun, too.
more. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's very different than like the paladin or the archer. The archers are fantastic. Like I'm just gonna shoot and destroy everything, kind of a play. But this game is so much fun. My only complaint is I wish I could have like 6 or 8 people play. It's 4
So it's
4
4
people.
players, and how many classes are there?
4 players, and I believe there's 5 classes.
Okay, what are the other
6.
2 you haven't mentioned?
So your classes are, there's paladin, there's bard, there's a thief, there's archer, there's wizard.
That's 5, I think.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's all of them. Yeah.
God damn it. Okay, this is
And they're
odd.
fun.
You-
This
you
game
just
is
sold it to
really
me.
cool. Yeah, like because you can. So at the end of the game, at the end of each, you have 3 books right now that you can go through, kind of like D&D. There's like the sarcophagus one with like this crazy, creepy elven queen as a boss. The second one is Realm of like the Rat King or something, Big Rat King. Third one I have not played because they do get more difficult. Like the first book is definitely easier than the second book.
Do
I
you have to
don't.
beat the second book to unlock the third? Or
No, you can
haven't
just
done it?
join in whatever one you want. You can feel that I think book 1 is the easiest, you know. But what you do is you have to go through 3 levels of dungeons to get to the boss, and then once you beat the boss, then you beat the book.
All right.
which is cool. And what's amazing is that a lot of the things stack. So like if you had like a strength potion or a movement potion and you did that in the very first level of the dungeon, that sticks with you all the way to the end of the book, which is awesome because then you can buy strength potions which give you like a +1 to all of your attacks, well, with melee. So you would want to give that to like the paladin or even the archer.
But how do you
who's
get
gonna
those
have
outside
it.
of the game that you have them?
So each time you finish a dungeon and you go on to like the next one, you can actually you meet up with like a trader and you can buy or sell
okay.
cards. And there's actually like a little way to kind of cheat in cheese. If you guys want to hear it, I don't know if I want to. You know what? If you're interested in being a little cheater, Peter, you can DM me, and I will let you know what the little secret is of how you can stack these strength potions. That is like fantastic, but I don't want to spoil or ruin it for people who maybe want to explore the game for the first time.
The question is, would you play a book that you've already beat again?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Loved it. I've replayed book 1 so many goddamn times.
Shit.
It's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
It's like Fort Joy.
Yeah.
Like you keep playing it over and over.
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
just like Fort Joy with Divinity Original Sin 2. And for me, it was so special. I think on Saturday I played with some of my closest group of friends, and a few of them I've played a lot of Divinity Original Sin 2 with. So it was just like, it was wonderful because we all just get back into the groove of not even really have to talk about our strategy. Everybody's just kind of on the same page, which is always so nice. But yeah, this game's fantastic. It definitely makes me feel like I'm in a tabletop thing. And it's fun in VR too because you can zoom in and like you're physically picking up everything. And I almost felt like I was like playing Yu-Gi-Oh for a minute because like to look at your cards at the bottom, like what you're seeing on the screen, you actually have to flip your hand over in VR and it has all of the cards that are showing up, right? Like hovering over your hand, like it was Yu-Gi-Oh, you know what I mean? With the like, you know what I'm saying? And so then you have to pick up the card and actually like, you know, use it, which I thought it was really fun and really cool. But I'm thankful that this game actually has both options, and I think it's worth having both because I went out Friday night, I went partying, I was a little too hungover Saturday, and there is no way in hell I would have been able to play 30 minutes of this game in VR. But since they had the PC edition, I was able to play like 5 hours of this game and keep playing, and it was wonderful. So I definitely recommend it.
Nice.
Looks fun as shit, man.
It's awesome.
Can't believe there's only
Really does.
37 reviews of this game.
That's weird.
Am I reading that right? 37 reviews?
Yeah.
I mean, they're all
Yeah,
very
only 37.
positive, but it doesn't seem like enough considering how much I've been hearing about this game.
Well, this one is the PC edition, and it technically came out 3 days ago. So I don't think they've had enough time for just the PC edition. Whereas,
Okay.
oh no, you are looking at the VR one, I think. See, that's what's I think kind of confusing though, is that they released the VR and then I think they got such positive stuff with it that they wanted to make a PC edition as well. But since they launched them separately, it's causing to me it seems a little more confusing than not of like which one did I select? Because yeah, see, as you're looking at the screen right now, you have Demeo PC edition and Demeo, and they're both $30, and it looks like you have them separate. But if you select on the PC edition one, you can buy the Demeo Together collection, which is the bundle that comes with both VR and the PC edition.
I feel like that could be more clear.
Yeah, I agree.
You can't even buy just one of the editions anymore.
Oh,
There's
now
only
they
an
just
option.
force you to buy them together. Well, that's good at least, because it is a little, as we just were looking at, it is a little confusing being like, well, which one do I buy? And you don't want to accidentally buy VR if you can't even have VR, but it looks like they won't even let you. You're getting both, so that's good. But yeah, the PC edition is non-VR, and it is just as fun as VR. It's just cool in VR. You know, there's that kind of element where when you can physically pick up the little figurines and stare at the detail and the work on them, like that's just very fun, you know, of course. But it is really fantastic just having the PC edition as well. I didn't feel like it was any kind of a downgrade or loss going from VR to PC or vice versa. I think they're both wonderful in their own right.
Good shit. Yeah, like I said, I'm sold.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool game.
All right. Well, before we get into listener questions, let's shout out our subscriber, Recycled, 44 months.
Hey now. Thanks,
So
buddy.
he's
Hey,
definitely in the lead here with the subscriptions, and we can always track how long we've been streaming based on how many consecutive months he's subscribed for.
That's no pressure, Recycle.
Yeah,
but
you
keep
can't-
subscribing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like the rings on our tree, dude.
Yeah.
That's how we.
They won't know how old they are if you stop subscribing. So please don't stop.
Oh, wow. All right.
Hilarious.
We've got some questions. First one comes from Warconius. He says, Elden Ring is a commercial and critical success, but is it actually an amazing game, or is it just a different type of game that people have been craving? It reminds me of everyone's reaction to Breath of the Wild, which seemed to get way more praise than I would expect after playing it.
I will agree about the part where, like, I didn't get Breath of the Wild. I don't understand it. But I've talked to my friends after playing Elden Ring, and everybody's just like, it's just so good. We're talking like one of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
from what people are saying.
I hear that, but I also feel like those people say that about every From Software game. Like they
Yeah.
said it about Sekiro, they'll say it about the next one. So
But
I
doesn't
don't know.
that
But maybe we should listen to someone who actually played it.
Yeah.
As someone who's played all the From Software games, man, is this one different? I didn't like Bloodborne that much, although it's good. I didn't like Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 3 was great. Dark Souls 1, obviously, super good. Demon Souls was boo boo. This game, what Warconius is saying, it's a mixture of what he's saying about both things. It's striking exactly when it needs to, and it's also just a really good fucking game. Like, I'll give it that. Like, does it deserve the score it has right now? Yeah. Is it the greatest game of all time? No. Is it in my top 5? Yeah, definitely.
and you've played a lot of games, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's good to see that From Software is getting better every game they put out. Like, if you probably look at their Metacritics, it's probably been on an upslope throughout. No? Or some.
Yeah, and what's even crazier is like, this is gonna sound really weird. Like, ever since people saw that George R. R. Martin's name was on this, other authors are like, "Well, I want to be part of From Software games now," and like, it's really weird. Like, people have been talking about it on Reddit, and it's just like the more the better that they do, the more shit that's gonna come out, and like. And they're not going to stop. Like, there's just going to be more From Software games, and they're going to be exactly what they are, and people are not going to get tired of them because they're good games. So
I'd love to see the Mistborn series get like re-envisioned into a video game.
they've already announced Bloodborne 2, and the fact that like Bloodborne 1 was such a commercial success, like I highly doubt that Bloodborne 2 is going to suck. So
Yeah.
So
see.
I've heard two things because this is bringing all the boys to the yard. So like a lot of new people are playing it right for the first time, like a Souls game. So some people are going up to the first mob, getting destroyed in one hit, and just like this is not for me. I freaking hate it. And then on the other side, Fastidious was telling me that like, yeah, I'm not good at these games, but this game lets you grind to a level where you're so far superior to whatever you're fighting that it levels the playing field. Yeah, you got to work harder, but that's an option for those who aren't mega talents at these kind of games.
That's good.
The grind is fun. It's fun.
yeah. So one of the first things that's in the game, right, is like right after you get out of the starting zone, is like this dude on a horse who's like decked out in gold armor. And he literally can just kill, no matter what class you have, just kills you in one hit.
So what do? Just avoid him till later?
Yeah, you just walk around him. Like the area is so big, you can just go around him no matter what. And it's the game telling you should. Like
Yeah.
Like
it's conditioning
and the thing is,
you.
You respawn 10 feet from where you died, and it's like, hey. This is a learning experience.
Yeah.
Walk around.
And
the thing is, like, the people that play Call of Duty and that like instant need their gratification and their like slot machine win right away are like, this is stupid. I just died. And then when they get a hit on him and they realize they take away like 1/30 of his fucking health, and they keep bashing their head against the wall, they're like, this is fucking dumb, and then they don't want to play the game anymore. They think the game's fucking terrible. But
Yeah.
when they realize, oh, if I go 50 feet the other direction and there's this nice little dungeon where I can face a boss that is actually, your level and the enemy's your level and have a good time. Yeah, it's a great fucking game. It's just people's mushy ass brains nowadays are so used to fucking mobile games and instant gratification. They don't know how to play like normal ass games.
Kids these days.
Kids these days.
God,
It's not even
dang.
kids.
That was
It's
such
like,
a cane shaky
Wow.
moment, dude.
Yeah, and they won't stay off the goddamn lawn.
Mhm.
Just mowed it.
They really want.
fucking
All right.
mushy
Speaking
bastards.
of heading off of the lawn, I'm gonna bring us back a little bit because once again, guys, we've got the game of the week we did not talk about. We were jumping into
Oh,
the
yeah.
listener questions.
Were we talking about it this week?
Chris,
We
yeah,
were.
well, we all played it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I mean,
because
did
we
you
all
play
played it.
Bobby?
Yeah, but I was hoping to have more time with it, but I could talk about it.
I mean, you can still play
I
it.
can talk
Bobby.
about it. I played it. I liked it a lot.
Chris, we should put game of the week. Yeah, let's restructure this so that this doesn't keep happening. Put game of the week at the bottom or something. I don't know.
Anyway,
Sounds good.
I'm gonna start off with talking about it because I got a lot to say about it. I played it a lot today and yesterday as well. I like this. This brought me back to Doom, like the
Oh, the
original
game is
Doom.
Nightmare Reaper, we should say.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
Nightmare
The
Reaper.
game
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
Nightmare Reaper.
Always say that.
Yeah, and I think it's neat. It's like, you are a woman in a insane asylum, and every time you go to bed, you complete a dungeon. But like I said, the graphics and a lot of it brings me back to Doom, and I like that there are different kind of enemies, different kind of creatures. I like some of the, I don't know. I like the game a lot. I like the different weapons. That's pretty fun. I was running around with a chainsaw and killing stuff, and it's cool because if you die, you get brought back to your room in the insane asylum, or if you complete the level, you also get brought back. And I really appreciated that every time you went back to the room, something was different. This is a little different. There might be like some graffiti on the wall, or actually one of the things I remember it was like how crazy clean and organized everything was after once. Like there was like one time where it was a complete mess and disarray, and then the next time it was completely clear and clean. And do a little shout out because I had a very proud moment here. We got when you wake up from your bed, you can see this note on the side of the wall right next to the bed, and that's where they give the thanks. And you can see Sniper's name is in there as the research
Hey.
Yep.
developer, so he had a little bit of a hand in this game. What did you think,
pretty
Sniper?
awesome.
Seeing as what was your involvement too with everything? What does that even mean, a research?
And can you be
Researcher.
honest without people slitting your throat?
Since this is a solo dev
Yeah.
and we worked with him and he loves us, I feel like I can talk a little bit more about it. Basically, what we do when we try to market the game, what I'm doing research on is like, what games is this like? Who has reviewed games like this? And make sure that they see that this game is coming out and really make sure that they play it. So that's like streamers, YouTubers, and press. And but in this case, we did a lot more. Like I did a whole Steam analysis, went into the data in the back end because it was actually top 8 on Steam, top 8 best selling when it released, which was
Wow.
like
wow.
really fucking awesome for a one-man studio. Like that's pretty
yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it kind of blew the expectations out of the water that we had because once you're on the front page, I mean, it's just smooth sailing from there. Like you're getting like 1 million views a day easily.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was fun. My coworker made the trailer. I don't know. I love this whole experience. I love being on that little wall. It was pretty sick.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations on that.
What?
Yeah, I love seeing you on the
Um,
wall, dude. And with overwhelmingly positive reviews and everything, yeah, this was
Just so-
released at the end of March, and it looks like it's taken off, which is good.
Fuck yeah. Just so you
So-
know, everybody knows, we don't get any compensation for any of this. Chris might be like, hey, I got a couple copies or whatever. And that'll be the most of it.
Yeah.
But luckily, this time it was fucking awesome. I had a really good time with it. I played probably 6 hours straight on my first sit through. I haven't gone back to it, but I died once in the first level, and then my next run was like 3 hours without dying. So I went
Nice.
fucking far. I was streaming it
Nice.
too. People were watching it, and the amount of guns
Oh my god.
So
Just
many.
weapons
Oh
in
yeah.
general.
There's a fucking bolter in the game,
Yeah,
like a fucking Warhammer bolter.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
also there's a Pokemon ball type thing where you capture creatures and then you throw it out again, and then you have, it's a saved version of, so it fights for you, that same thing that you captured. There are spell books where you can, and everything has their alternate fire. So you have the spread shot, and then you have the charge shot, and or you have aim down sights. I still think the rifle is one of the best guns because there's actually there is hit detection, so headshots actually do more, which I don't think is true for like old Doom games. Is that true, Bobby? Right?
No. I think the first time I
No.
ever saw headshots was on Marathon, but I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe some game did it before then.
So it totally works on this game. There, it's funny because it's so simple, right? Like it's these 1D. There's no depth to these things. They're like paper cutouts coming at you, right? And they can still scare you, and they can still seem like they have strategy, even though they don't. The AI is just like go forward and run your script. But there's levels. I got to this level where it's all verticality, where it's jump pads and levers and like platforms that go up when you pull the lever, that kind of stuff. It's all vertical. So you're fighting things, and everything's bouncing up and down on these jump pads. And you think you cleared something, and then next thing you know, you got something right in your face, like or right behind you, and you had no idea. And it seems like it's just that like there's so many bad guys that they seem clever, but really it's just random rolls of the dice, and fucking sometimes they sneak up on you, and it's crazy shit. But yeah, I guess we haven't talked about the little mini games that they have
On the DS, on the Nintendo DS,
Yeah.
that's your main it's your main menu.
Yeah, so your
Yeah.
skill tree, not only do you have to buy the skill, you also have to play this like mini Mario game and get as many coins as you can, and then pass the level. It's like a Mario clone, like a real dumbed down Mario clone.
Yeah, it even has the little mini map that looks very similar to Mario 3. And
Mario 3, yeah.
move around to the
Yeah.
different levels, and yeah, they're just little platforming.
Yeah, and
Levels to get
they're what, 30 seconds long, I guess, maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's-
probably around there. Yeah.
It just breaks up the tension of all the blood and gore, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's relaxing.
I was neutral on that part. I wasn't like, oh, this is great, and I wasn't like, this is stupid. Although, the second one, did you guys play the Pokemon game?
No, I did not get
Okay,
to
so
that.
you don't play this one anymore, and you go to this Pokemon game, and you start playing this Pokemon game. And I did not like it at all because I've never played a Pokemon game, and it just wasn't for me. And I couldn't get skill points anymore, and I had nowhere to dump my gold. So I had like 1,000,000 gold. Maybe I was doing something wrong, but yeah, I was stuck. Instead of doing that, I was stuck in this this Pokemon game. But what'd you guys think?
I loved it.
I liked it a lot. Unfortunately, I probably won't finish the game. I enjoyed it a lot. I love the mechanic of being able to choose a gun to keep to the next level.
Yeah.
I found a fucking blue bazooka on the 3rd level, and I just kept that bitch for so long. It was so useful. I love how the alternate fire for the bazooka is you just hold it like a bat and just whack something with it. It's so funny. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I liked how
it's
they
a
did
good
their
time.
weapons in this because a problem with a lot of these old boomer shooters is there's a hierarchy to the weapons. So you start out with your fists, and then you get a pistol, and then you eventually find a shotgun or an assault rifle. But once you find that pistol, you never use the fists again. Once you find that assault rifle or shotgun, you never use the pistol again. And other modern games have tried to compensate for this, like, oh well, you can spec up your pistol. You can put you have like a talent tree for your weapon, so you can make the pistol super powerful, and it becomes viable late game. But what this game does is you start each level and you find a weapon, and you can hold on. You find a bunch of weapons, and you can hold on to 2 of them. And then at the end of the level, you just get to pick one that you can take with you to the next level. So every single level is like its own little mini roguelike. Like you need to get more weapons and become stronger there. But you can always carry one over. But that kind of and these weapons, we should say, they have some real zany stuff here. I think I saw one that was like, I don't know if it was supposed to be the Lament configuration from Hellraiser. It's like a little box you throw out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But they also have like, this is a level 1 or a level 2, or this one has this buff on it or that stat boost
Rarities,
or something.
too.
Yeah, rarities. So there's also like kind of like a little gambling to it as well. Like you could get lucky and get something really good there. And that solves that problem of, moving from the pistol to the shotgun to the assault rifle to the rocket launcher to the plasma rifle, that some of these other games have.
Yeah, because you might get a blue pistol that's better than your white laser rifle.
Yeah, and they handle ammo in a pretty simple way too. I think there's 2 or 3 different kinds of ammo.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
Maybe 3, yeah. But so the blue bazooka I had, Nick, was a legendary dagger. And the daggers don't run out of ammo when you right-click them. You just throw the dagger.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah, and so the doctor shows up every once in a while. Remember, you're a crazy person or whatever, and so you're also reading the doctor's notes and about you. And so every time you beat a level, you get a little bit more. A tiny bit more information. It's like, I saw the patient today, and then you don't get any more until the next part.
The next day, he's like, I don't know why nobody picked this patient up. I guess it's just me. And you're like, okay, that told me nothing, but yeah.
Yeah, it'll
But
be
I
a
think
little.
it's cool. Yeah.
But what was I getting to? Oh, the doctor comes into the game. He's in the game sometimes.
Yeah, he's like faceless though.
He's faceless. It's like all whatever, like
It's like wavy.
Yeah, and he makes weird noise. It does not sound like a doctor. He sounds like a whale.
No, he sounds like a demon.
Yeah, like a demon. And then you go up to him, and you can pay him a lot of money, and he will erase one of the buffs on one of your weapons and put a new one on, a random one. So that legendary one, I kept working on it until I had my dagger was a finely tuned katana, and yeah, I was just fucking shit up with that thing. It was great.
Now, I haven't made it as far as you. Is this a straight roguelike where you are eventually going to die? Like maybe there's an end boss, but or can you actually continue after you die?
You can continue.
So you continue. You continue when you die. You just go. You just start your current level that you're on. You just get transported back into the fucking
room.
Patient room,
Yeah.
and then you just go back to the level that you died on.
I actually really kind of like how they do the transition too when you die, because like I love that you kind of get beat up and you see like in your bottom left corner like your face and how you're doing, and you get more beat up, kind of
Like
Doom
Doom.
is similar,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. But then when you die, like you look at your hands and there's just blood everywhere, and then you just see blood everywhere, and you get transported back to your patient room with like the blood that slowly then disappears from what you're looking at, and I think that that's such a neat transition to like resetting the level,
And have you guys progressed inside the asylum at all? Have you been out of your room?
I have not.
No.
All right, I'll leave that right there.
Okay.
No, good. When I come back, I don't like if I was on world 3-4. I don't think you start up on 3-4. You might be on 3-0, Bobby, or 3-1. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go from there. But yeah, you don't have to start from world 1 anymore.
Okay, so there are checkpoints. It's
Yeah,
not
I
like a
believe
straight
so.
up roguelike.
Yeah, so I'm a fan for sure.
I'm a
Strong
fan, too.
recommendation.
And there's a demo out right now, so if you're on the fence about it, go try the demo yourself. It's fun. I definitely like it.
At the very beginning, there were some legibility issues because the graphics are so low grade that I was like, I don't know what that is. It looks like a hamburger, but as you play the game, you're like, oh, okay, I know what this is now. So yeah, cool. There's so many fucking mobs, man.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah,
almost all of
dude.
them drop at least 1 health point. So it's kind of like there's a little balance of a game going on. Like, can I kill more of them than I have hit points so that I can get up to back to 100? It's it's good. Whoa, is that the lady?
Yeah, I didn't realize that one of them had a shotgun. Like the mob itself had a shotgun, and so I'm like walking up to him with like a claymore, and then he just shoots me with a goddamn shotgun, and I'm like, there goes 80 of my health. I was like, dude, he hit me like a truck. I was like, what the fuck was that?
It's funny.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yep. Cool. I'm glad. This is one of the better ones that we've had. We all agree.
Yeah, it was a good
Mhm.
one.
Thank you, Sniper.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Back to listener questions. Boy, we've got a lot from Warconius this week. He asks, what's the best game so far for PC 2022?
Nightmare Reaper. No. Is Inscription from this year? I would say Inscription easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
For me, it's Demeo.
Have I played any games from 2022? God, I'm always so terrible at these. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'll probably be Lego once you play it.
Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Could
the
be.
only game I played from
Yeah.
2022.
Ah.
I guess I have played Nightmare Reaper, so that is from 2022.
So there you go.
Yep. All right. He also
Nice.
asks, based on your birth month, you are now the owner of one of these gaming publishers. What will you change or have them do? So we've got a graphic here, and each month is lined up with a game publisher.
I didn't know what mine was. Spike Chunsoft. I don't know what that is or what they make.
Yeah, I don't know either.
All right.
Well,
You
mine
guys?
being Namco.
Oh,
like,
my company's Babylon's the company that made Babylon's Fall, which is yeah, it's not a good time. It's like that game, the company that made they make Bayonetta and some other games.
Oh.
Yeah, no, not my. I'd stop all production and start making some cool games, I guess. I don't know.
You'd probably make some of the games that my birth month would make, like things like you've mentioned before, Elden Ring. I don't think they need to change a damn fucking thing. They seem to be killing it. So
Oh, From Software?
the what?
Who'd
well,
you
the
get?
Bandai Namco. They're the
Oh.
ones. Yeah. I thought they made Elden Ring.
No, From Software did.
From Software does. Yeah, it's June.
Oh. Well, I don't know shit then. I don't know. I can't remember. Oh, poor Warco. This question flopped. Because essentially we don't know our
Well.
publishers. So you know what though? I'm not going to change a damn thing because in the notion of an Aries time like March, they're doing great. I
There
don't
you
know
go.
what they're making, but they're doing great.
Bobby, what'd you get?
I don't know. I can't even read what that says there, and it's got a bunch of
You got
anime.
another anime studio.
Yeah,
They make
there's a
Guilty
Dragon
Gear,
Ball
and they
Z
make
guy
another
there.
bunch of other shit.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, legibility issues.
I guess everybody's just making anime these days.
Yeah.
You're born in April?
Yeah,
Birthday's coming up then, huh?
it is.
When is your birthday?
My birthday is on the 24th of April.
Nice.
Heck yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
do something. I don't know.
Well, I'm actually going to be working on my birthday, so that'll be exciting. But
Isn't that like the most Bobby fucking statement in the world?
yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Okay. Next question from Saxos. Hey, can you all play Battle Brothers for 2 to 6 hours and talk about it?
I definitely played this game back when it came out. It was strongly recommended to us when it did. There was a lot micromanaging a small band of combatants. That's all I remember. And
Yeah, I think it was like a roguelike. So, like, you send your troops out there, and like if you get wiped out, you got to start all over again. But yeah, it's a pretty hardcore strategy game from what I remember. And I remember the people being like little, like they had
Eggs.
no feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the graphics. But I looked on Steam. I have this game. The last time I played it was in 2017. So I do remember checking it out. We probably talked about it on the podcast, but I'm sure the game has changed a lot since then. They're on version 1.5 now. So this game, every now and then I'll see someone on my Steam's friends list playing this, and I'll be like, oh yeah, Battle Brothers. I should check that out again. So maybe I will check this out this week.
maybe.
I don't know. We'll see. But this is definitely one of those games that I've always meant to go back to and check out.
All right, what else we got?
I believe that's it. Is that all our listener questions?
No.
Oh, no, we have more. Oh, where did this come from? Zap asks, what's a game you love that everyone else seems to hate?
Disco Elysium. 'Cause
War
y'all
Thunder.
don't want to read. No, I know Bobby liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, too much reading for me.
But reading is fundamental.
What was that game that you were all about, and then it disappeared? The guys were flying in their little robot suits.
Why do you have to be diminutive about the whole thing, dude?
Anthem. There it is.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I get you.
Because they were big robot suits. They were little robot suits. We're not talking like Gundam or anything here. I mean, these were like Iron Man type suits.
That's the anthem. Get your damn hands up. Yeah, I fucking loved it. I don't know what everybody's problem was. It was fucking awesome. I was Iron Man, and so were my friends, and they were like, "Oh, this sucks." I was like, "What's going on?"
It was like Game of the Year, guys.
Yeah.
What? It's Game of the Year.
I don't know what happened.
Emilio starts putting his EA check in the back of his pocket. It's
Yeah,
Game of the Year, guys.
Game of the year before it came
Oh
out.
my
I was
god,
like,
dude!
this is Game
Speaking
the
of
Year for sure.
flops, the other day I do this every now and then. Like sometimes I just remember this, and I'll go do this. I'll see how many people are playing Artifact, that game by
Oh, yeah.
Valve, and I checked the other day, and it was like 7 concurrent players.
Oof.
Wow, dude, that is gnarly.
Are they all bots?
Aren't they reworking on it? Reworking it?
I think that was the plan, but I don't know if that's ever coming back. Like, I don't think you can really resurrect that. God, if I didn't see these last 2 questions here, so I wasn't prepared for this. But there's definitely games out there that I love that everybody hates.
like most of them.
Yeah, probably. It's a lot of them. Man. It's like everything I play, maybe. But yeah, I cannot seem to think of one right now. Like I feel like I've answered this question before, and I've had a really good answer, but I cannot remember. I'm always playing like the off-brand, like whatever game, you know. It's like MOBAs are huge. Everyone's playing LoL or Dota, and I'm playing Heroes of the Storm. Like, what the hell, you know? So, yeah, I'm always the odd man out. Everybody's playing Counter-Strike. I'm playing Day of Defeat.
Yeah. Sniper?
All my games are universally beloved because my opinions are the best.
Whatever
I
you gave Game of the Year to.
What was it,
most
Suzerain?
people- Yes.
Suzerain?
Yeah,
Suzerain,
Suzerain.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a very particular game, and it definitely deserved renowned acclaim as Game of the Year. So I'm happy it secured that.
All right. Dace, you got one?
I'm sticking with Disco Elysium.
Oh, yeah, right.
Y'all
Yeah, that was
motherfuckers
good.
did not like that, and I am still salty about it. It's my 2019 Game of the Year.
It was definitely good, and it was original.
Yeah.
For sure.
Where did we give Game of the Year?
Fucking Apex.
Oh, Apex Legends. Yeah.
That's fucking horrible, dude. Jesus.
God.
Hey, that game's still good. More people are playing Apex than they are that game. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but by that logic, Budweiser's the best beer, dude, because they sell
true.
more. Like,
true.
Yeah, dude. 10 Apex players are like 1 Disco Elysium, you know.
yeah.
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 And it's like 0.25 Suzerain players. Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Warconius as the last question here. April is NIS, Trails of Cold Steel, Disgaea. I've seen that before. I don't know how to pronounce it. JRPG publisher. Steam has gone from soft to full on hardcore. Could you ever see yourself playing any of these games? I don't think I understood much of that.
I think
I think
this is a porn game.
I was gonna say I think he's talking about the
they're Japanese games, and we don't know Japanese games.
Oh.
We need a Japanese expert on the podcast here to call in.
we do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've said it a
Well.
bunch of times. I'm super over Japanese content for the most part.
Disgaea. Okay.
Yeah, I just I start playing a Japanese game and I'm like, it's all the same old tropes, and I don't know, I don't enjoy those tropes either. So, yeah, I try to steer clear for the most part.
It's just too set in your American ways.
I am, man. I am.
Hmm.
Nick, you've kind of like grown out of it, right? As well. I'd say.
Man, kinda. I used to be really into a lot of JRPGs and stuff like that. It's just a lot of them are fucking time sinks, man. Like really, really heavy. You're talking like 250-hour plus games, and it's like, bro, I can only play like a pixel art game for so long.
Yeah.
Like, and I can only listen to so many fucking anime noises for so long. Like, they just announced Kingdom Hearts 4 today, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. like,
Nick.
and everybody's like, oh, the main character has normal sized feet. I'm like, cool, bro. Even though every time the camera switches to him, he goes, or oh, or eh. It's a fucking annoying. Like, why does everybody just sounds like they got poked? Like every time they look at him.
Why?
It's terrible.
What system is Kingdom Hearts 4 coming out on? I've never played
I
any
don't
of
know,
them.
man. It's usually all of them now because like they lost, not lost, but I think they sold out so that like they're on all the
They're not exclusive anymore.
yeah, it's not
Because it used to be
exclusive
Nintendo,
anymore.
right?
It used to be Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played one.
Okay,
And,
Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows. All right.
Oh, Windows.
What's this one's more serious. Like they're all grown up because Kingdom Hearts 3 was a fucking flop.
Wait, I thought Kingdom Hearts was the one with like all the Disney characters.
It is,
is.
but the thing is now they're getting more serious. They're kind of pushing away the Disney characters and then now bringing in more of the Final Fantasy characters.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm so less
yeah.
interested in it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And for those who didn't know, Encanto's a fantastic fucking movie. I just said that.
It
and
is.
watched the
We're going to
whole thing.
Disney World in like 2 months. So
Nice,
fucking
man.
Yeah,
nice,
they're
huh?
redoing It's a Small World.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't it win Best Picture at the Oscars?
Did it?
I think
I
so.
didn't know
For
that.
Best Animated
Oh.
Feature. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sniper,
I think it did.
You know that video I sent you of the like breakdown of the music? I ended up watching the breakdown of like the 3 main songs of that, and then I was like, I've done more research than actually watching this movie. Let me go sit down, and then I enjoyed it immensely probably more because I had seen the breakdowns from the songs. But dude, that guy, what's his name?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, he's telling a story within the songs through music without the lyrics, and then there's lyrics on top of that. So there's like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy what that
Yeah.
guy's doing. He's working
The
on
guy's an
so many
artist. There's a
levels.
reason why he was on Broadway for like 11 years.
And then I start driving my car or my girl's car, and you know I got the kid in the back. It's the one time I don't play podcasts, and I go to the fucking whatever 933, which is our like hot new whatever top 20, right? Fucking Encanto songs, 2 back to back. Just every time I'm in the goddamn. I'm like, how good are these songs? I've never heard of a Disney song on the radio, and now they're playing 2 of them. And I look on the Billboard charts. Yeah, they were like top 10.
Yeah, it seems like it's everywhere.
Yeah,
I do kind of want to check it out because if I'm not mistaken, you don't see a lot of like Mexican movies, like or like Spanish movies that that aren't just like Day of the Dead, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
so-
was the last one.
yeah,
which
what
was still
that?
good.
Coco.
Yeah, Coco.
Yeah, which is good. But yeah,
My
they're-
dad's,
it's like the one thing- I don't know.
My dad goes, they're just copying Coco. I'm like, Dad, you're just mad it's about Colombians
well,
and
and
not
Coco's
Mexicans.
copying everything
Calm
else, dude.
down.
Like anytime you see Mexicans in a movie, it's always like Day of the Dead, dude, because
Yeah.
it's like
it's always
it's a
the
very
case. My
like
dad,
cool and interesting thing about them, but it's like there's a little more to the Mexicans than that, you know.
Yeah, like murder.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Either cartels or Day of the Dead. That's what we make
That's all
It was
Mexicans
there is.
Colombian,
about, right?
okay.
So there-
Colombian.
and
All right.
Chacos.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't Mexican. I knew it was something else. Colombian.
It's fucking incredible, man. It's so good.
Nice.
All right.
So what's everybody playing this week? And what is our? We decided on our game of the week to be Weird West.
I'm cool with Weird West unless you guys want to play something else.
Let's decide tomorrow. We got to
yeah.
choose someone to
All right.
decide.
I got a feeling it's going to be Weird West, but yeah, we'll talk
Why
about
can't
it on
be Elden
Discord.
Ring?
All right, yeah.
All right.
But what's everybody playing otherwise?
I want to keep plugging away at my Steam Deck. I want to play an RTS. Like, how is it going to be when I'm like, highlighting a group of characters? Like, am I going to use my finger? Am I going to use the trackpad? I don't know how that's going to work.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I want to do that. Besides that, Weird West is calling to me more than anything else. So I'm kind of already going to play that. That's it for now.
Bannerlord and For the King.
For the King.
All right. God, I got a lot to play, man. I want to play more Back for Blood. I got to play Deep Rock Galactic. I want to check out the Lego Star Wars game. And yeah, probably Weird West and probably more Nightmare Reaper.
Cool, man.
For me,
Nice.
it's probably going to be Nightmare Reaper, Demeo, and Treasures of Nadia. That game always pulls me back.
I am gonna say
I need to find what happens to Emily.
probably right after this. I'm probably gonna play Lego with Mila. Yeah,
The polar
good time.
opposite of
Sounds good.
Tales of Nadia.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I think I still will end up getting Lego Star Wars on my Switch, especially for the flight to Vegas. And so then I
Yeah.
could kind of play some of that.
Which,
yeah.
by the way, have you done that flight?
To Vegas?
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same as trying to go from where my mom's at in Michigan to Chicago, which is like under an hour, not even an
it's
hour.
so
It's
by
quick.
by
As
the
soon as
time
you
you hit
land
your
up,
apex,
then you're already
down.
going down.
Yeah,
Yep, that's exactly how it is getting to Chicago in Michigan. Yeah.
So it'll be a quick one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. Still
Hell
enough to
yeah.
get a little bit of a little zip zooming with my lightsaber in, you know?
There you go.
So that's good.
And the what do you call it? Our airport's really easy. Like
San Diego
yeah,
Airport.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. The lady that works at Delta was kind of a bitch, though. But
This is
that's
Delta,
fine.
dude.
No, I don't know. I like Delta, but the lady was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you stood in line for so long." And I kind of said as a joke, I was like, "Oh, it's a good test of patience." And then she was like, "No, you were taking the place of somebody else that needed to be in this line." I was
Whoa,
like, "Oh, okay, bitch." Like, no.
damn.
But
I'll
yeah,
stab
might-
an old lady.
She might be work for Delta, but she's the alpha cunt.
yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Anyway,
Speaking for Chris, Nick, Bobby, Amanda, and myself, Lego titties, everybody. They're a little boxy, and they got that little thing at the end. Nobody's got a quip.
check out the DLG Con planning channel because I totally
yeah.
fucked up talking about that.
So did we.
Thanks for the fries. Thanks for the episode.